Hey guys, how you doing? Today we're going to be doing a late review. I should have recorded this ages ago, but just had a lot on my mind, had a lot to do outside of obviously my YouTube channel. And I believe I had loads of reviews to do. I had You to do, I had Venom to do, Eternals. Recently saw John Wick, thought I'd do that spontaneously. So yeah, this one got lost in the pile and I'm sorry for that, but it's here now. So this is the review for Dune. Now, this stars Timothée Chalamet and a bunch of other stars. You've got Dave Bautista, you've got Oscar Isaac, you've got so many people in this film. You've got Jason Momoa. It's just the cast is insane. So that alone should get people interested in this film. Now, if you don't know what this film is, that's fine because neither did I. I didn't know any of the source material going into this. I knew that there had already been a film adaptation of this, and I knew that it was a set of books beforehand. These were books, then a film adaptation came, I believe, even before the 2000s, or was it? I believe it was quite a while ago. The first film adaptation came out. Wasn't the best. I've heard mixed things on it. I heard some people really enjoyed it, but I've heard and seen that it wasn't clearly up to par with the technology of its time and the talent and some of the more serious takes that happen in modern cinema. So I saw the trailers for this film. I believe I've done a trailer reaction for this. I was just really looking forward to it. I thought it looked great. Another cool sci-fi film, but it definitely looked unique. It looked like a serious drama that had all these different factions of the galaxy coming together. The only thing, and I know to fans of Dune that will watch this review, this is going to annoy you because it's probably the most common thing you've heard, and my apologies for that. But as we know, I'm a Star Wars fan. I am. It's literally my main, when I think of sci-fi, when I think of cinema, I think of Star Wars, let alone if I said sci-fi. So that's the only thing I have to compare to this. And people now go, I've heard this a lot when I came out of the cinema, oh, this is way better than Star Wars. This is like Star Wars plus times 10 or something. I don't think that's the case. I think this is a lot more dense. This is a drama. In my opinion, this is a family drama that just so happens to be in space, involving all these different planets and that. It's literally a drama taken from Earth with different countries, but expanded. And it's weirdly in the way in the future, which it is set. It's set way in the future, but you see all of these lush and environments, and it's really cool because I'm kind of tired of these futuristic films just showing a wasteland of Earth and everything's gone to crap. It's good to see a film really show, that the future doesn't have to be like that, and they're still walking around. There's a scene with Timothée Chalamet and Oscar Isaac, who plays Timothy's dad in the film, Paul's dad, and they're walking around this field, and it looks amazing. It looks very luscious, very natural. And I think that's one thing you have to say is a 10 out of 10 with this film. The cinematography, the settings and locations, the CGI, like the technology side of things, has to sell that. And that all comes back to product design and costume. All of those things, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, they're all 10s out of 10s. Performances, for the most part, all 10s out of 10s. The only times it hasn't really come through is not actually the acting itself. It's the fact that because this is part one, as it says at the start of this film, which I find interesting that they didn't advertise this film to be a part one. I think they were banking on how well the opening weekend was going to be, and then tested it, or actually they couldn't have because it says it in the title. That's interesting. Maybe they threw part one in at the very last second because they finally got a deal to make 2 and 3, because 2 is on the way. 2 has been greenlit, which is great. So yeah, I just went into a complete tangent there, but yeah. So literally the only times performances, acting hasn't worked is not the acting. It's literally just because this had to set up a lot of stuff. It had to grab the attention of people that didn't know what the hell Dune was, like me. Well, I knew a little bit, but not really. It has to satisfy the OG hardcore fans, and it has to set up for a sequel, and it has to be its own film and warrant its existence. And I'm so glad that they didn't focus fully on just setting up a sequel. It's very obvious when a film is doing that, and DC is criminal for this. Batman v Superman was literally just a 2 hour long trailer for the Justice League film, and that's where it faltered because it wasn't focused on what it was. It added Doomsday, it added just all these elements that just didn't need to be there. Save that for another time. Focus on that one individual film. Look what happens when you do that in Marvel. Marvel's the prime example. You focus on making a great film, Iron Man, and you have a little nugget or a little bit sprinkled in that hint towards sequels. Like the end credit scene, little things where Captain America's shield will come up and stuff like that. You guys know what I mean. Dune does that. It really does. And I've never read the books. I don't know what comes next. But you can see them sprinkling in these details and these layers and these characters that you know will come back. You know they will. And I just think this film is so good. The one word I've been seen used thrown around the internet is this film is so dense. And that is true. If you don't like to think, and I'm not even joking, if you don't like to think when you watch films, if you go to the films to switch your brain off and just watch a like dumb little like action flick or comedy, this might not be the film for you. I'm just letting you know, you guys know that in case you're watching this and haven't seen the film. You're just curious to what the opinion is of the film. And I doubt that because this is going to come out quite late. But yeah, no, I do believe this film is one of the densest, most lore-driven films I've seen in a while. It's funny, more than the sequel trilogy of Star Wars, I will make a video reviewing each one when I eventually watch them. But I do believe I will make one video talking about all my issues with the sequel trilogy because that has to be done. But with the sequel trilogy, they forget about all of the lore that's been made. There's been 6 films, plus the Clone Wars, plus all this other stuff, Legends, everything. All this built-up lore and rules of Star Wars that you cannot break. And they went, don't really care, we're going to just create our own lore. And that's how you lose a fan base. That's how you divide a fan base and lose half of them. This film, I cannot see how Dune hardcore fans will be annoyed with it. It is the perfect adaptation I think they could have done. Obviously, there are a few bits. I'll go into like negatives because I don't really have that many. These are more nitpicks than negatives. But the whole bit with the guy that betrays them, the doctor guy, Paul's doctor, it's very, I want to say rushed. They explain it, but it is quite rushed. And they throw a few lines in here and there. And I actually looked it up out of curiosity. And in the film, in the books, that's way more, not dense. I'm just addicted to saying that word now. That's covered in way more depth and more detail, and you get more reasoning behind that. And I get it. This film is 2 hours and 40 minutes long, I believe. That is a long film, and there's a lot more they could have put in here. But yeah, this film could have been 3 hours, but there are a few things that aren't covered as in-depth as not I'd like, but you can tell where they held back a bit because they're already throwing so much information at you. They have to keep it going and get to the point they need to get to. So yeah, that's a nitpick I have. I'm not going to say negative because it didn't affect me. You got the reasoning why he did it, but fair enough. That's just one little nitpick. Another is in the this is more marketing wise. The marketing for this film showed Zendaya to be quite a big character. And obviously for people that have read the books or seen the other film, you know that she's not at the start. So you're fine. You're expecting that. But for people like me who didn't know what the story was at all, I feel like that was a bit misleading. As a Zendaya fan, I'm a fan of Zendaya. I'm a fan of loads and loads and loads of people in this cast as well. So it didn't ruin it for me at all. That's not what I'm saying. As I said, these are more nitpicks. But if I had to pick out a few things, I do think the trailer shouldn't have focused as much on Zendaya, because for fans of Zendaya that have gone, oh, she's in this, oh, I'll check this out, it could be quite disappointing for them. Not a massive thing, really a minuscule problem, if you want to call it that problem. It's not really a problem. But yeah, I'm trying to think of you know, nitpicks and problems, but there aren't that many to find, which is great. That's the best thing I could say for this film. I will say that the score, I believe it's Hans Zimmer, is great. It's not amazing. That I've heard better Hans Zimmer scores, but I do believe this really did suit the film, and that's reminded me, the best thing about this film for me is the sound design. Whoever did the sound design for the ships, the planets, the environments, the people, the background noises, just everything about, even the knife play where it's trying to get through the armor, it's all so otherworldly, and just, it's an out-of-body experience. And I never say that for a film, because that's not really a term you'd use in the English language. That's more of a review thing to say, but it's an out-of-body experience. This film, more than any other I've seen in a very long time, transports you to this other universe. It is that good. I'm not joking. So yeah, this film is amazing. It feels almost real. I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. 9, only because, and it's the highest 9 you could give. It's so close to that 10. But it ends at a weird place. I get it's part 1. It does end at quite a weird place, and a lot of fans, a lot of people, casual audience members might not be fully satisfied with it. And I'd get that. I would understand that. I'm not. I'm fine. I get that it's a part 1. I fully understand it. But a few people won't, and the ending was not jarring, but it was like, oh, I want to see more, which is what you want. But yeah, it wasn't fully satisfying, in my opinion. And then there's obviously those few nitpicks I went over. Nothing major. It is the highest 9 I will ever give. It's like a 9.9. It's ridiculous. But yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments below. I thought this film was great. Hopefully you did too. If you didn't, let me know why. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.